I was talking about those Echo saws. We use these Echo saws. We got a steel blowers right here. We bought a couple of these steel hand blowers. We really like them. We've always used the Echo hand help blowers, but this choke system on these new steels, I'm beginning to like them pretty good. You just choke them, pull them till they fire. Actually, you pull them till they crank, and then you pull the trigger and it just lets off the. But where I'm going with the Echoes, these things, I'm gonna demonstrate something here in a minute. I hope we're gonna see something here in just a minute. These saws sit in the build. We don't use this stuff every day like tree guys. And I've noticed over the years, a steel or a Husky, if they sit any length of time at all, they get hard to crank. You know, if they run every day, they do good. And like, you know, we don't need the big powerful saws, but this saw right here, this is our latest saw that we bought. It's a 50cc saw. We like it. It's not heavy. But where I'm going with this again is the crank. They sit in the building for 2 or 3 weeks. You pull the choke, pull them 3 or 4 times, and them jokers crank. That's a little old saw over there. That saw right there is that little 2511. That saw on YouTube, it was the cat's meow when it come out. We bought that thing, and I'll be honest with you, that's probably the most disappointing saw I think I've ever bought. That was hopped up to be. Now I know some of them folks have got them things ported. They've been worked on. The screens is out of the mufflers. We took the screen out of this one. They got a different bar on them. I know you can order one from August Heineken, get that other bar on it, and that might hop it up. But I was expecting a little more saw than that saw right there. Between the difference in the weight between that and the little Red Max, I'd rather have one Red Max saw than 2 of those right there for the power. But anyway, when I'm going this thing, this saw right here had been sitting. It was sitting over there in the building, and it hasn't been cranked. I guess it's been well over a year, but you can see right here that thing has been sitting. It's been wet. It's been sitting outside. It's been neglected. It's really been neglected. I'm gonna get Weston to put some gas in this thing, and we're gonna see if this thing will crank up. You can see the green mold. You can see the rust on the saw. It's not been cranked up. That thing's empty, ain't it?
Yeah.
Put some gas in that thing. You don't have to fill it all the way up. Just put a little gas in that thing. Just enough to crank it. 'Cause it might not crank, but it might. We're gonna check it out and see. This thing might make a liar out of me, but we're gonna check it out. That's a cheap little old saw. That saw right there, it's a CS 310. It's not a powerful saw. We've got a 12-inch bar on that saw. But you want to crank it? You want me to crank it?
I'll let you crank it.
Let's see what we got. All right, we're gonna pull the choke out here. Turn the thing on right there. Ain't that something? Push the choke in. Look at that. It's all been sitting for a long time outside. It's been neglected. You can see what is that on there, son? Mildew, mold. What is it? It looks like some kind of green.
It was sitting in a boat.
Sitting in a boat out there, and it's sitting in water, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was submerged.
Submerged in water. And when we moved, we got it out of the boat and set it in the building. And this morning I seen it sitting there, and I said, let's just take this down. We knew we'd have a little bit of time down here. Folks, that's why I like them Echoes. They crank. That thing might blow up next time we crank it up, but we're gonna sharpen it up. We're gonna try to use it here in a little bit. Anyway, that's my 2 cents on the Echoes. That's why we use the Echoes. They're good about starting, and the cost of them. You know, they got some. We've got the 620. Saw 620. It's a 60/60 saw. Good saw, powerful saw, and it'll cut in its class. But it's probably $300 or $400 cheaper than the saw, a Steel or a Husky compatible to it. So that's one reason we use them. The cost of them, and then we don't use them every day. We're not out here dropping timber, and they crank good. They crank good. Well, now I will tell you this: Echo about 5 years ago come out with a carburetor on some of their blowers, the hand blowers. They did something, and them things is hard to crank, and that's one reason we switched over to the Steel. I don't know, you couldn't adjust the carburetors on them. They're supposed to be self-adjusting or whatever. Anyway, we're gonna cut it off right there. We're gonna cut it off, go grab a bite to eat, get warmed up a little bit, come back, get on these bushes, get this stuff cleaned up, hopefully get this job wrapped up. We'll talk to you in just a little bit. Hey, if you folks like these videos, how about hitting them buttons for us there, and we'll see you on the next one.